Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, for this nationally ranked showdown here in late March. Dylan Butler along with you here this afternoon for what should be a really entertaining game. This is two teams that generally try to play each other when possible, certainly. For Victor, this is their second game on the island. They lost yesterday afternoon to a really good Sayville team. Final 25 seconds of that one. St. Anthony's, this is game number 2 after opening the season with a win over St. Dom. So first we take a look at Victor, the visitors here. As we said, number 19 in the country, number 7 among public schools for the Blue Devils, 1-1 on this early season. It is a team that they are the 4-time reigning New York State Class B champions, and in 2 of those 4 years, they beat Garden City to get there, so they know how to beat Long Island competition. Certainly a step up here today. Their head coach, Jen Hegarty, said, this trip to the island, yeah, it's tough. We play back-to-back games, Sayville and St. Anthony's, but it's all about getting that 1% better, learning from this experience to make ourselves better for the rest of the year. A couple of players are going to lean on here today. Let's meet our impact players for the Blue Devils, and in midfield and on draw control, it is the senior Princeton-bound Cameron Adrid. Super smart. She sees the field. She'll be on the draw circle as well. You see the numbers. We're in fact in the 6-3-1, but her goals, assists, and points are 5-1-6. And then on the defensive side of things, Carlina DeFondi, the junior, she is bound for Syracuse. She'll also be on the draw circle to try to help Victor get a bunch of possessions. Really tall, leads the team so far in caused turnovers. So that's the story for Victor. We take a look now at St. Anthony's, and Friars come into this one with a 49-game unbeaten streak. Absolutely unbelievable when you think about that. However, their last loss, that was up in Rochester to Victor back in 2023. So the winning streak is nothing really that Darcy Messina, their third-year head coach, said we discuss. Yes, the girls know it's in this social media age, everyone knows the record and the rankings, but it's not about that. It's about just getting better each and every game. And plus, you know, with the opposition and the schedule that they put together, you know, they're always kind of playing really, really tough competition. So no use in dwelling on a streak or a record when teams like Victor and Darien are on the schedule. We take a look at a couple of players to watch here for the Friars, and we could have certainly gone in a bunch of different directions, but 2 of the 3 captains you see on the left, that's Emma Speed. When St. Anthony's did lose to Victor, Emma Speed was on the team. She scored a couple of goals in that game. A 4-year varsity player, a 3-year starter, working at Lefty X. She is a Florida commit. So she is very much like Darcy Messina was, that Lefty X attackman going to Florida from St. Anthony's as well. And then Sophia Novelli, the leader defensively, another captain for this team, bound for Vanderbilt, also, like Speed, a 4-year varsity player. We'll take a quick break. We'll get you the starters and the keys when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Cy Donnelly Field. Dylan Butler, our entire Varsity Media crew with you, getting ready for the start of this non-league showdown as we take a look at the starters for the visitors. From Victor, it's Megan O'Brien, Gianna Hedden, McKenna Anderson, and Quinn Fitzsimmons on attack. We mentioned Adrid before in the midfield, along with the Kubrich sisters, Lila and Nora, and Summer McDonald starting on defense, along with Carlina DeFondi, Ever Schul, and Madeline McAuliffe. The goalie for Victor, wearing number 27, there you see her, Mia Finchario, the senior bound for Canisius. And the head coach for the Blue Devils, it is Jen Hegarty in her third season, a Victor 1989 graduate, also the ski coach at Victor. Was a Division I skier back in her day. And there she is. Her assistant is Jamie Smith. Let's meet the starters now for St. Anthony's. And leading the way for the Friars, you have an attack line of speed, Anna Christie, Cameron Pupke. Those are all seniors, joined with Fabiana Gallagher. Your midfield is Madison Sussy, Meadow Sillis, Sophia Ania. And then your defense, we mentioned Novelli before, Kelsey Gorman, Meg Langton, and Cassandra Rhodes. In goal for the Friars, it is Sophia Machida, the senior bound for Stony Brook. Head coach for St. Anthony's, her third season as well, it is Darcy Messina, 2012 graduate of St. Anthony's, a Sayville native, we mentioned before, played at Florida. Spent 5 years teaching and coaching down at St. Andrew's School in Boca before coming back to her alma mater. Assistant coach is Corey Winkoff, played at Cold Spring Harbor, then UPenn, and Christian Michaels as well. Played at Kings Park and then Malloy University. Opening draw, Lila Kubrick for Victor and Cameron Pupke for St. Anthony's. So here we go, two of the top 19 ranked teams in the country. The opening draw will go to Victor. One of the keys for this Victor team in this one, and we'll show them to you when we get a chance during a break, but Jen Hegarty said possession, possession, possession. Value the ball. Draw circle super important. They know how dangerous St. Anthony is in attack and how they can score in bunches, so they certainly want to slow this down, use that shot clock to their advantage, and work for good shots. They start there at X now. Carlina DeFondi. She is staying up. What's interesting about her, we highlighted her as one of the top defenders, but she plays attack on her club team. So when she's on the draw circle and if Victor wins it, she's very comfortable staying there. A little backhanded shovel shot attempt. The first shot of the game, Lila Kubrick, that was wide of the mark. It'll be Mia DeRose on the restart. She'll pass it back to X. 7 on the shot clock. They'll play a two-man game. They have to get a shot off here, and they will not. Shot clock violation. Good job by St. Anthony's defensively, as DeFondi never was able to get a shot off. And now here come the Friars looking to clear. Meg Langton got it across, and now St. Anthony's will work on this side of the field for the first time today. That's Anna Christie. Tries to split defenders, works it to X. And then it's Speed's office there. Nothing there, good slide. And now it's a ground ball battle, and it's won, at least momentarily won. And it is won by Victor. You see that last GB picked up by DeFondi. So Victor, they have to like what they've seen so far in the early goings. You won the first draw, you had a lengthy possession. Granted, it didn't result in a goal, and then you got to stop. Here's Lila Kubrick. Senior bound for Yale. She does a little bit of everything for this team. Takes the draws, was one of the best defenders Hegarty says that they've ever seen. And there is younger sister Nora, just a sophomore. Good movement right now by Victor. There's a first shot, or the second shot towards the cage, and the second one off the mark. Now the restart for Victor, and that's another one wide. All three of their attempts yet to hit the cage. Mia DeRosa works it up top. Kubrick hands off. Adrid tried to find the cutter. Kubrick was bumped. No foul call there. 13 on the shot. And the ground ball is picked up. And we go the other way. That's Cassandra Rhodes. And then Rhodes was fouled. The junior bound for American, a volleyball player, so she uses that height to her advantage, knocking passes down. As though again, St. Anthony's will work their offense. First flag is up, and the first goal is scored as well. Anna Christie.
Flyers goal scored by number 10, Anna Christie.
First shot, first goal for St. Anthony's, and it comes from certainly one of their more reliable sources of that. You see the move by Christie, defended by DeFondi, goes top shelf for the unassisted goal for Christie, already goal number 5 on the season. for the Notre Dame commit. So St. Anthony's takes the early 1-0 lead. Back to the draw. And again, DeFondi gets the ground ball just as she did on the first one. So 2 for 2 on the draw for Victor. In the corner there is Megan O'Brien, the sophomore, a triple threat. Ball bounces all the way back out to midfield. Another GB picked up by the Blue Devils, and they will continue their possession. There's a shot and a goal, and we are tied. So after the first 3 shots for Victor, as we take another look, and that one was McKenna Anderson.
Goal scored by McKenna Anderson.
The Arizona State commit, her 5th of the season. It's a good response by Victor as they tie this score at 1. Anderson super fast, really good cutter as well. Of that offensive group, especially that the attacker is probably the leader right now among that group. Back to the draw circle. There'll be a push called against St. Anthony's. So a 3rd draw 1 as Adrid will look to put the ball back into play. She cycles backwards. Victor 1-1 on this early season. They won at Rush Henrietta up there in Section 5. That was a 22-7 win, and they made their trip down to the island. That's a great pass, and the finish as well. The pass came from X, and was that McKenna again? We'll look at the replay of it. The pass came from X, and it was McKenna with the goal. Give the assist to Quinn Fitzsimmons. So 2 early for McKenna Anderson. And the Blue Devils have a 2-1 lead. This will be the first draw control for St. Anthony's. That was won by Melania Morio. That self-win. So now the Friars looking to respond after back-to-back goals by Anderson. There's speed. Gets it to Christie. Christie will look to dodge. Christie goes far post. And the first save of the game as well. And a good one too by Finacciario. Make it 2 now for Finacciario. The ride back though by Christie. Now 2-on-1. An errant pass. Finacciario came out initially as Gallagher was unable to get that off the ground. Splitting defenders, going low was speed, and another save by Finacciario, her 3rd. Mighty Mia. As Kubrick will get the clear for Victor. It is a long game, there's no doubt, but as now there will be a free position opportunity for Victor, but Jen Hegarty, her team right now checking off all the boxes that you'd want when you go on the road to take on the #1 ranked team in the country. They're winning at the draw. They're getting contributions on this side. They're getting saves. They're picking up ground balls. And as a result, they've got a 2-1 lead. A couple of goals by McKenna Anderson. Here's Adrid, who will look to feed. And once again, another restart here for Victor. They will back Adrid up. And here she comes. Adrid splits defenders. Adrid goes for the scoop. And the ground ball picked up there as well. 6th shot of the game for Victor. And now here come the Friars the other way. Hedden trying to ride it back. And now St. Anthony's will look to clear. Final 2 minutes here of the first. A 2-1 lead for Victor. Here is Anna Christie. She's got the lone goal right now for the Friars. Little stutter step, tries to roll it back. Good defense by Adrid. And Finocchiario again. Her 4th save of this first quarter. You're not stopping that lefty rip by Speed, who brought some speed on that, and we are tied at 2.
Friars goal scored by number 8, Emma Speed.
Another look, hands free, goes high for the Florida commit, goal number 6 on the season. And we are tied at 2. Again, Morio against Kubrick here at the draw circle. Morio won the last for the Friars. Melania, the junior, bound for Binghamton, and Kubrick with the self-win. Now a chance for Victor. Should they decide to, they can hold for the last shot. As we are now inside the final minute of the first quarter. Some space here for Kubrick. Great feed, Adrid. Couldn't turn the corner, lost it momentarily, and now she is pushed from behind by Meg Langton. Quick restart for the Blue Devils. Dodging from the top, it's Fitzsimmons. We will stop the clock here. Let's see what we have here. It'll be a free position for Victor. Not the best angle, and you have a couple of defenders there, so smart move. Instead, it's Adrid who goes low, and there's the save by Machida, her first of the game. Final 18 seconds. St. Anthony's, if they go in a hurry, they can maybe get a last shot off, and that's what they're looking to do here. Ania hands off, Speed. A little hesitation. The work in front, and there's the goal. It didn't take the Friars long, certainly, to get that one off. And the goal scored by Novelli. We talked about her being a leader of the defense, but there you see Sophia getting involved in the attack, in the transition opportunity. And with 3.4 seconds left in the first quarter, it is Novelli who gives the Friars the 3-2 lead. So we'll have one last draw control between Morio and Kubrick. And this one goes to Morio as the quarter will come to an end. So the Friars, listen, they felt a little pressure here, but they got the party started. Novelli then finished it up, but the party was started here by Anna Christie. AC bound for Notre Dame, going top shelf inside the far post to help give St. Anthony's a 3-2 lead. First quarter in the books. We return for the second on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Welcome back to Cy Donnelly Field as we get set for the start of quarter number 2. We didn't get a chance to show you the keys to the game. We spoke with both head coaches. Here's what they identified. And listen, you could see at least 2 of those 3 right now. You could check it off for Victor from that first quarter alone. The draw and circle, vitally important. Being aggressive in their ride, getting the ball back. Haven't seen a lot of that yet, but there we see it, right? What Hegarty said, possession, 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 so important. And for St. Anthony's, it's more sort of, it's not about the technical aspects of the game, but more in the emotional side of things, right? Be present in the moment, trust each other, and just love the game. Have fun out there, are the words from Darcy Messina. It's a good first quarter here between the two of them. And again, it is Victor, this is back-to-back games on the island. They played yesterday afternoon at Sayville, and that was a 6-5 loss to the Golden Flashes. Sophia Baffardi scored the winning goal with 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. She ended up with a goal and 2 assists. Carly Cangelosi and Dylan McNamara, both with a pair of goals for Sayville in that win. So Victor would love nothing more than to go 1-1 and that long bus trip back to Rochester be one where they beat the #1 ranked team in the country. Time for the opening draw of the second quarter. Morio's done well. She's won her last couple. Looks like it is Kubrick again to take it for Victor. And that didn't go over either player's shoulders, so, or over their heads, so we need to restart or have a do-over here. Kubrick went backwards. And the ground ball picked up again by 1 for Victor. I mean, DeFondi has been outstanding on the draw circle. The 5th win for the Blue Devils. But now Speed making it difficult for Victor to get it across. Between Speed and Christie, they could run for days. And again, making it very hard for Victor. That's Ever Schul. She hands off. DeFondi finally got across. We'll stop the clock and have a reset of the shot clock. So our head in there with the ball. Gianna, a sophomore. Your starting attack, you've got a couple of seniors. The leader among them, as that ball was thrown away, is Anderson. And then you've got Megan O'Brien, Gianna Head, and a pair of sophomores who really didn't see a lot of time last year. More scout team players. As St. Anthony's gets the clear, and now they will look to operate with a 3-2 lead. That's Addison Fox. How about just a freshman on this team, number 1 in white? Sillis finds Fox, scored her first varsity goal in that 17-2 win over St. Dom's. Good ball movement for the Friars. Sussy hands off, Christie. They keep the ball moving. And then that shot, that lefty attempt by Speed. Backup was there. So the possession will continue, but only 3 on the shot clock. They've got to get something off here. I'm not sure they recognize. Oh, excuse me, it was a restart on the shot clock. 50-50 ball. And that one is won by the freshman. Among all those girls battling for it, it was a 14-year-old in Fox. Another lefty rip by Speed, and another save by Finocchiario. That is her 5th of this game. You can see Ever Schul, the sophomore, kind of playing traffic cop there. Now she's got the ball. A couple of Friars trying to ride the ball back on her. Look at the effort by Anna Christie. When one of your leaders, one of your tri-captains works that hard on the ride, what an example that she sets. So now Victor will get the ball in as they look to try to tie this game. It's at X where it's Hedden. Sophomore can be effective both from in that spot at X, but also on the elbow as well, where she really shined in that opening season win, or the season opening win against Rush Henrietta. Here is Anderson, a pair of goals for her. Aggressive defense, and maybe a little over aggressive on the defense by Kelsey Gorman, the Siena commit. So Anderson will restart. She kicks it back up to Fitzsimmons. Now they work it to Kubrick. Kubrick draws a slew of Friars, does get it to X. The feed in front, tough feed, because there were a bunch of white jerseys there, but a nice ground ball picked up. 3 on the shot clock, 2, and that shot, the attempt was there, got knocked down right as the shot clock was expiring. And now we see Victor set up to ride this one back. Good luck, though, trying to catch Meg Langton. A punt return clear that we call it in the boys game. What a great job by Langton. Brother Quinn right now playing at UPenn. And there is Fox. Addison hands off. Loose ball, though, and another ground ball for DeFondi. That's got to be her 5th already in this game. And DeFondi, she has those defensive instincts, but also, again, plays attack on club ball, so she'll stay up here. And she's got the ball in her stick now. They will operate from X. Fitzsimmons is there. Here's Adrid. Adrid tries to go low to high, side-armed it, but it goes over the net. That loose ball, Machida was able to pick it up. And here come the Friars the other way with some numbers. Silas, hands off. Fox back to Meadow Silas, the senior, bound for Stony Brook. And now it's Christie up top. Christie lowers his shoulder. Christie! First she went into a different gear, and then she switches hands. A terrific finish for Anna Christie. There you look at that. Blows past her defender, switches to her left. And the finish at the cage. Goal number 2 on the game, number 6 on the season. Oh, bless you, Anna Christie. And you could tell just in the way that she plays how much she loves playing this sport. And that joy that she plays with, that is infectious for her teammates. As the Friars have now, in a game that remains tight, right now this is their largest lead at 2 goals. Back to the draw circle where Victor has been outstanding, and again, we'll have to restart here with Kubrick and Morio battling here. Again, watch for one, DeFondi, for the ground ball. This one pushed ahead, and Moria, and there it is. DeFondi gets it. Even when she was on the back of that circle, you still felt, even though the ball went the other way, that somehow DeFondi would still be able to pick up the GB. She has been a vacuum getting the ball off the carpet. So Victor, an important part of the game here for the Blue Devils, where they can't afford to get too deep of a hole against a team like St. Anthony's. So they need a good possession here as they will work it around the perimeter. Lila Kubrick kicks it out. The feed, Adrid. Nothing there. Back up top, and we'll have a restart now for the Blue Devils. It will be Adrid to do so. Super smart. She's someone who does a great job just seeing the entire field, everything that happens around it. Right now, she's just trying to occupy some space to give her other offensive players some room. Right now, that was a tough feed. Looking for Adrid, another ground ball battle, just right in front. And the Friars come away, and then you see the physicality, just a situation where really it was Rhodes who ran right in to McKenna Anderson of Victor. And Anderson is the first in the box. Kind of unfortunate for her, because it looked more like Rhodes would just turned into her. So let's see if St. Anthony's can capitalize here. And again, another terrific clear by Langton. Here is Fox. Spinning from up top and turning, that was Ania. Speed inverted for a moment, tried to get the ball back. What a look inside. Christie had the feed. And I think, we'll take another look, but I think it might have been Gallagher at the crease. Well, before we confirm that, we'll look at the replay, but what a pass by Anna Christie. See, there you see Christie. And yeah, I think that was Gallagher. Here's another look at it. Christie, eyes up. Where are we going? The feet to the crease, and it was actually 5, Madison Sussy
Goal scored by number 5,
with the
Madison
finish. So a power play goal for the Friars for Sussy, her first of the year. That's a big draw control for Victor. And you see the aggression led by Christie and Morio trying to win that ball back. There is Kubrick. Speed, trying to force her out. She will, in fact, push her out. And there's a good look at Lila Kubrick. In that first game against Rush Henrietta, took 25 draws while also being a two-way midi. Talk about someone who just never leaves the field, has a motor that just goes on forever. It's number 7 for Victor and Kubrick. Inside the final 2 minutes of the first half. That's a great feed. Adrid tries to go high. And now the penalty is up. That was sneaky by Adrid. No backup, so St. Anthony's ball. As they are 1 for 1 with the extra player. They'll work it to X. Now there is Christie, 2 and 1 on the day so far for Anna Christie. And now St. Anthony's will have the restart. Speed to Christie. Sophia Ania to Addison Fox. And now it'll be Adrid who will go into the box. A yellow card issued for her. Saying it was a high shot to Fox's neck. So Adrid will go in on the yellow card offense. So what an opportunity here with 46 seconds left in the first half for the Friars. You take another look at it here. And yeah, you can see the contact high. Was just saying though about Fox, you know, she's got to absorb and learn from the older players, but also Darcy Marcina was like, listen, she also has to contribute, right? She has to produce. Let's see, 1 for 1 so far in the power play for the Friars. They'll move it quick, and there is the finish. Did not take Anna Christie long. Hat trick for the Notre Dame bound senior. And St. Anthony's extends their lead to 6-2.
Flyers goal scored by number 10, Anna Christie.
And it looked like Christie was just trying to survey the situation, look for cutters, anybody open, and then she's like, I'm going to take it to the hole. And then Christie, a terrific finish there for her third. So back to the draw control. Morio and Kubrick. A self-draw win for Kubrick. And now if you're Victor, can you maybe get something late here? Well, I think he went a little bit too quick as they throw the ball away, and now this opens a door. We've seen how quickly Langton can get up the field. So 13 seconds is really no time. Victor wisely looks to try to ride to apply some pressure. 4 seconds and 3. Can they get a shot off here before the final buzzer? They will not, but a great second quarter for the #1 ranked team in the country. St. Anthony's was led by number 10 in white. 2 of her 3. You see her switching to her left. And then on the power play, watch this one. She's like, is no one, no, all right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna take it. 3-1 on the day for Anna Christie and her Friars with a 6-2 lead at the break. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Hey parents, coaches, and players, ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
It's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosts the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Welcome back to Cy Donnelly Field here on the campus of St. Anthony's. The Friars with a 6-2 lead. Let's take a quick look while we can before the opening draw at some first half stats. You see pretty even in terms of shots 12-10 for St. Anthony's. 5 big saves in that first half by Finocchiario, and the draw control has been heavily dominated by Victor. But the score right now certainly in the favor of the Friars. That a draw control win by, because it is still a battle. Speed gets it. What a turn into space. And now Emma Speed puts on the Jets. Finds Christie. The skip, one more. Turn, low shot. That was sensational. And it was number 6, Meadow Sillis, who put it away.
Friars goal scored by number 6, Meadow Sillis.
Great job by Sillis, too, changing her planes, going low, and getting the finish. Another with Adrid still in there on that yellow card, another power play goal for the Friars as they now extend this lead to 7-2. Good win there by Kubrick. Back to Defandi. And here is Lila Kubrick. You're kind of caught between two mindsets right now. If you're Victor, you do need to battle back. You're down by 5, but you're also down a player. So you got to be careful. You really can't take too many risks right now. As it is Hedden. Finds Anderson. It was Anderson with a couple of goals in that first quarter to really get things started for Victor. And now Adrid is out. We are even. And here she is with the ball. She finds Hedden. Hedden! Brings the heat with her left for Gianna Hedden, goal number 4 on the season.
Victor goal scored by number 11, Gianna Hedden.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness. A heat check on Hedden there. She and O'Brien really terrific in communicating with each other. Such a hard worker. Hedden, too. Listen, she's only a sophomore, but remember, in last year's state championship game, in their final, scored a big goal in that one. So she's used to the big moments. Good response by Victor, too. Coming off, having to kill that penalty. The 10th draw control win now for them. And maybe the odd quarters favor the girls from Rochester. It was the first quarter where they excelled against St. Anthony's, and they had a lead on the Friars. St. Anthony's took control in the second quarter, and maybe now the third quarter goes back to the 4-time defending New York State Class B champions. Nice knockdown, ground ball in front, and Moshida will handle it. Quick outlet for her, look out. A huge collision, and it will be St. Anthony's ball. That is Novelli. Here is Emma Speed. Christie. Speed. The dodge. The low shot. Did it get in? And it did. Finocchiario thought she had it, but Speed snuck it in for her second of the game.
Friars goal scored by number 8, Emma Speed.
And you can see a little bit of a delayed reaction and the wait there from the officials as well, as they had to make sure, but it was Speed who gets it, her 7th of the season. You love too, Speed is just so gritty on the ride. Messina says that she sees the game visually from a different level than a lot of other offensive players. So her interpretation of the game and how fast and how smooth she is to apply that is just another reason why she is such a special player. And she's gritty, right? Gets those GBs. It's now an 8-3 lead. Coming out of the box, you see number 3, Fabiana Gallagher, as well as the freshman Addison Fox. Here's Sophia Ania, another freshman on the St. Anthony's team. You know you've got to be good when you get starters minutes on the #1 ranked team in the country. To take away another ground ball for DeFondi, but they can't get the clear. And now things a little bit hectic out there. A chance maybe for something unsettled here. Ball on the turf, look out. And that is a trip. So Victor will get the restart. It is Hedden. Tries to feed Adrid. Somehow she gets it. And that was a save by Machida. She's been the less active of the two goalies, but that was a big save for Machida. And now the Friars back on attack. Speed up top to Christie. When you look at how imposing this group is, it's kind of pick your poison. Adrid, again, that's why she's such a terrific two-way midi. Great interception from her. She gets to clear herself. And now they'll look to push it. Bringing the speed, trying to go high. Machida the save. Now the game gets stretched, which is just fine with Anna Christie. Christie, the skip, a little hitch. Speed feeds GLE. And a good job by Finacciario to read that, come out of her cage a little bit to pick up that loose ball. Good takeaway in the high crease by Cassandra Rhodes. Rhodes really good at asking questions, and she's learning new systems. Messina calls her wildly coachable. With 3 senior starters back there with her, has a great calming presence. Cameron Pupke. Pupke tries to split defenders. And we'll have a hold here, and this be an 8-meter now for the Friars. As Pupke tried to split defenders. This is a good hash for her to take a shot. Pupke, great stick check from behind. Believe it was DeFondi. She has been outstanding today. And we will have a timeout called, which will allow us to tell you about Victor and this run that they've been on. Again, 4 years in a row, the Blue Devils, New York State Class B champions. And you see their last 3 there. A year ago, they went 18-4. They beat Garden City in the Class B final 12-9. The year before that, it was West Genesee, 16-8. You go back to 23. Another win. This was a 2-goal win over Garden City. And in 2022, how about a 21-1 year, beating Queensbury 14-5 to win their first New York State B title. There's been 11 All-Americans all time for Victor, and a lot of players playing on the next level. Let's take a look at them now. And there you see we've got some sister tandems. Eva Pronti, right now at Duke. Her sister Maya Pronti at Georgetown. Olivia Bruno down in Charlottesville at Virginia. Her sister Julia at Pittsburgh, and then Devin Livingston at Maryland. A bunch of those All-Americans for Victor.
And after that, the next school year, then,
And the Blue Devils playing for Ali Pisano, who it would have been outstanding to have seen her out here today. For Victor, she wears jersey number 2. She's a junior bound for Boston College. How about number 7 ranked in the class of 2027 by Inside Lacrosse? And Pisano suffered an injury during basketball season, which required surgery. So unfortunately, she is out, but the team is honoring her. They put AP2, the number 2, on their cleats and their wrists, as Ali Pisano is always on their thoughts, always on their minds. And there is no doubt she will come back better and stronger than ever. Already a Boston College commit. She has played midfield for this Victor team, but likely on the next level for the Eagles. She'll be on attack. Adrid whips it down low. She gets the return pass. Another stoppage of play and another restart for the Blue Devils. That is Hedden. We know she can sting the ball. We saw that on her goal. This time she'll play it back to Lila Kubrick. Kubrick works it to X, where McKenna is. Adrid up top. 16 on the shot clock. That low shot is saved by Moshida. What an outlet as well. And here comes Novelli with acres of room to run. Sophia has a goal already on this game. Anna Christie, she's got 3 and 1. as we approach the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. What is interesting is that fellow Rochester standout Penfield, they're making the same trip as Victor. Look at this, splitting defenders, and the finish. And no, there was a whistle before that shot went in by Silas. If you're St. Anthony's, like, can't we just have like the soccer continuation? Because now Finichario makes the save. Big ground ball picked up. There is speed. Another save for Finichario. The Canisius commit. So being from Rochester and playing in the spring in Rochester, then going to Canisius up in Buffalo for Finichario, I think the cold never bothered her anyway. Look at the finish inside again. Splitting defenders, finding her way through. And another goal for the Friars. We take a look on the replay to kind of see who made that trip. Was that? It's hard to see from that one. This will be a better vantage point for us, as it was 9 for the Friars, Sophia Ania.
Friars goal scored by number 9, Sophia Ania.
So for Ania, the freshman, her third of the season. She is no stranger to varsity lacrosse, even though it is her freshman year at St. Anthony's. Played a year ago as an 8th grader for Sachem East. Put up 16 goals and 12 assists for Sachem East. So final 40 seconds here for the Friars. Can they get one more? Ania to Speed. To Christie at X. Back to Emma Speed. She and Christie, the wavelength and their understanding of where each other wants to be, outstanding. And now another stoppage of the clock with 10 seconds left. They'll put DeFondi now behind Christie. Feed to the crease. What a save by Finichario. And again, another stoppage of the clock here. It'll be a restart for St. Anthony's. And maybe one last chance here to put one on frame. And that's what Gallagher tried to do. It went over, though, and out. So no doubt Victor has brought it this afternoon, but St. Anthony's showing why they're one of the top teams, or rankings-wise, the top team in the country. Multiple players involved in the offense, as we will go high to low with that one by Silas. 9-3, St. Anthony's after 3 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Cy Donnelly Field as we take a look at the last 3 years for St. Anthony's, all ending with Catholic League championships. And there you see the numbers, 16-2 back in 2023. They ran the table after that loss up at Victor, and they've won every game since, 49 in a row for St. Anthony's, and they've got some outstanding players on the field as well as players who are competing on the next level. Well, these are their current college commits. There we go. There you see it. Amanda Pacey at Duke, Molly Heine at Hopkins, Meg Kenny at Florida State, Lexi Zenk and Tess Calabria both at North Carolina. You see some of their college commits. There are a lot of them. I think it's 33 in total bound for college. There you see the second grouping. Players finding collegiate homes everywhere. Sophia Repe, we saw there a moment ago. Novelli will go to Vanderbilt. Sophia Pasavia to Virginia. Gab Lemieux, the backup goalie here, heading down to LIU. So opening draw of quarter number 4. A windy afternoon here in South Huntington. Chilly again. And for Victor, some of the players on the bench, they've donned those bomber jackets, which look really nice, by the way. Mario hands off, but you got to think that when you play lacrosse in the spring in Rochester, this is almost like summer weather for them. So that a draw won by Mario, and now St. Anthony's back on attack. Feed up top to Christie. One of the 3 captains, along with Emma Speed and Sophia Novelli for this group. Christie hands off. That's a terrific dodge. Low shot wide by Speed. The backup was there. They'll get the shot clock restart. So I guess that was on frame. Back to Christie. How about that save? Mighty Mia again. She might not be the tallest in the cage, but she is standing tall today for these Blue Devils. And now it's Adrid. And you got to think, unless there's a massive comeback here, it's going to be an 0-2 trip to the island for Victor. But you see the pieces are there certainly to once again, if not be the favorite in Class B, certainly be a team that will battle there. Garden City returns a lot of talent. We saw them last weekend open the season with a tough late game loss to Bayport Blue Point. And now the save high on the other side by Moshida. Sophia Moshida, that rare lefty goalie. And now if you're an attacking player and you're dealing with all these defenders for St. Anthony's, hard enough to find the space. And then when you do and you're shooting, you're like, wait a minute, what? She's lefty? And maybe that little bit of hesitation works in her advantage. Good job clearing the ball. There is Christie. Here's Addison Fox. With a 6-goal lead, certainly the Friars showing some patience here on the attacking side. Fox hands off. Christie, another save for Finocchiario. And a great outlet as well. Finds Kubrick on a dime. But she is dispossessed from behind, and now numbers for St. Anthony's. Instead of forcing it, they will restart now. Mentioned before, Victor, number 7 by USA Lacrosse in the public school rankings, in the public school top 25. The number 1 ranked public school in the nation is Darien. And Lisa Lindley's squad, as there's a great pass and finish inside. Another for speed.
Friars goal scored by number 8, Emma Speed.
It is her 3rd, and it was Christie with the assist. So Christie gets her 2nd assist. Now 8 goals on the year for Emma Speed. But Lisa Lindley's group and St. Anthony's Darien have waged some epic wars over the years, and that game will be played up in Connecticut coming up actually on April 8th. First, St. Anthony's will take on Penfield from the Rochester region on April 1st, a draw control win for the Friars, and then they'll take on Darien. And I think while we have this possession, maybe Becca Kazak can pop up their upcoming schedule, St. Anthony's, in the top left of your screen, so you could follow along with what I'm telling you. But there you see that game against Darien. Circle that one. Always a terrific game. IMG from Florida, and then take on some of your local teams in Kellenberg. What a dynamic duo Speed and Christie are. There's Silas. Speed will back it up. No hurry right now for St. Anthony's. Ania gets it to X. Back out to Christie. 3 and 2 in the day for her. Good defense by Adrid. Slide comes her way. Ground ball picked up in front. The shot was by Gallagher, and another save for Finocchiario. Finocchiario and DeFondi, they have both been really good for Victor today. McKenna Anderson, impactful, especially early, and then Kubrick at the draw control. And you can see again, the piece is there, right? The nucleus is there. Even down a generational player in Ali Pisano. Look at Adra, GB. I think that was off the post. And we have a stoppage here.
Is it charging? Is there a battery in there? Kev, I need you to slowly go live. Can slowly go live. You're my only camera right now. I'm running up camera for me. Just, Kev, you're going to have to stay live.
And Victor on the restart. There is DeFondi. DeFondi, stick check from behind, low shot, wide by Kubrick. And we'll have another stoppage.
Oh, there we go.
4:17 left here in the fourth quarter. Tough pass, picked up in the corner. Foul on the Friars. Here comes Kubrick. Forced it through. She had a couple of cutters there. That's a great save in the corner by Fitzsimmons. Back out to Kubrick. Kubrick, sidearm shot. Did Machida get a piece of that? I don't think so. They're not resetting the shot clock. As Hedden will put the ball back into play. 15 on said shot clock, so Victor will need to go here. Again, feeding the crease. Adrid trying to get a jump shot, but she'll get the crease violation instead. For Victor, and this is by no means a shot at their competition up in Rochester, up in Section 5, but their schedule gets a little more manageable after this weekend of Sayville and St. Anthony's on back-to-back days. They do play some non-leagues, though, and Jamesville DeWitt is always a powerhouse in the central New York region, and that is what is next for Victor. Their games against Penfield always highly anticipated as Christie draws the double, works it to X for Sussy. Inside roll, and shooting space is the violation, so an 8-meter opportunity for Madison Sussy. See it again, tries the inside roll, and the stick comes up high right there. Oh, great move by Sussy off the post. Rebound is in. Sophia Ania, the freshman, her second of the game.
Friars goal scored by number 9, Sophia Ania.
There you see the clang off the post. And talk about right space, right time. That's what Ania was there, those attacking instincts of hers. 4 goals on the season now. And Messina says of her, does not play like a freshman. Yeah, that is for sure. The lead now 11-3 for the Friars. If you're just tuning in, you would probably not believe me when I tell you that it was Victor who had an early 2-1 lead in this game. And you see how the Friars responded to that early adversity like the champions they are. That one saved by Machida. And now it's Christie. As the #1 ranked team in the country, is now less than a minute away from making it 50 wins in a row. Here's Christie dodging from up top. Rolls it back, and that one off the bar, off the post as well. Final seconds winding down on this one. It has been a collective effort. One more. No, that shot by Ania attacks the crease. Oh, she'll get it. The buzzer beater in March Madness for Sophia Ania. Let's see that one again. Well, that's all right. We see the celebration as Ania with the hat trick as the Friars win this one 12-3. Really impressive team performance by St. Anthony's. You look at the scoring, and it was Anna Christie leading the way with 3 goals and 2 assists on that last second shot by Sophia Ania. That gave her 3 goals. Emma Speed with 3 goals. 1 apiece for Madison Sussy, Meadow Silas, and Sophia Novelli. As the Friars, they improved to 2-0 on this young season. And as we said before, their 50th consecutive victory. For Victor, they are 1-1. Actually, now 1-2 on this season. 0-2 on their Long Island road trip. But again, considering what we've seen from them, I think they're going to be really good. 2 goals for McKenna Anderson, 1 for Gianna Hedden. A terrific performance at the draw control from Lila Kubrick. Carlina DeFondi with a slew of ground balls, and Mia Finacciario was excellent as well in the cage for the visitors from Rochester. This was a battle of 2 teams ranked nationally. And listen, Victor brought it early on as McKenna Anderson scores the first of her 2 goals in the first quarter. But then too much St. Anthony's. Emma Speed, sidearm shot in the finish. Anna Christie, 1 of her 3 goals. How about that? Sophia Ania. She's a freshman. Off the post and in as the Friars celebrate the win over Victor. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Becca Kazaks, for Kevin Calanado and Pablo Pachucho. I'm sorry, Pablo, for butchering your last name. I am Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us from Cy Donnelly Field. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Varsity Media.